Hello and welcome to Ani's Short Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Haunted Quarry of Niton. Disembarking from the ferry, Holly Arnold set foot on the Isle of Wight, her heart a tumultuous blend of eager anticipation and trepidation. Childhood memories of carefree visits to this rugged, windswept island surged forth, the days spent chasing gulls along the shore or listening to her grandfather's tales by the flickering hearth. Yet this journey bore a purpose far weightier than nostalgia. She had returned to pierce the veil of mystery shrouding the infamous Quarry of Niton, a forsaken pit steeped in whispered legends of spectral unrest. Her grandfather, a stoic quarryman with a voice rough as the stone he once hewed, had filled her young mind with eerie accounts of that place, stories of shadows that moved without owners and whispers rising from the depths. Now, armed with a writer's curiosity and a notebook, Holly was determined to transform those chilling anecdotes into a book that would unravel the truth. Little did she know her quest would plunge her into a nightmare woven from the island's darkest secrets. The sky hung low and grey as Holly drove toward Niton, the air thick with the briny scent of the sea and the damp chill of an approaching storm. A sense of foreboding clung to her, intensifying with every twist of the narrow country roads. By the time she rolled into the village, the atmosphere felt almost suffocating, as if the land itself exhaled a warning. She shook off the unease and pulled up to the Quarryman's Rest, a quaint bed and breakfast nestled at Niton's heart. Its stone walls, draped in ivy, stood weathered but proud, and a creaking sign swayed in the wind. Inside, warmth greeted her, a crackling fire, the aroma of fresh bread, and the innkeeper's rosy cheek smile. "Welcome to the Quarryman's Rest. You must be Miss Arnold," the woman said. "We've been expecting you." Holly nodded. Yes, that's me. Thank you for having me." "Oh, it's our pleasure. We love a guest with a story to chase." "I hear you're writing about the quarry." "Exactly. My grandfather worked there, and his tales always stuck with me. I figured they'd make a gripping book." The innkeeper's smile wavered. "Well, just be careful. That quarry's got a dark history. Some say it's best left undisturbed." Holly leaned in. "Dark how?" The woman hesitated. "Incidents, dear. Folks vanishing, strange lights flickering up there at night, and sounds like cries or whispers, carried on the wind. They say it's the spirits of workers who never left." A shiver snaked down Holly's spine. "That's perfect for my research. Anyone around who might talk to me about it? Try old Mr. Jenkins. He worked the quarry till it closed. Bit of a hermit now, but he knows more than most. Lives in a cottage just beyond the village." Holly thanked her and settled into her room, a cozy nook with full curtains and a view of Niton's sleepy square. Restless, she decided to explore the village. Its narrow lanes wound past stone cottages, their gardens a riot of late blooms. The White Lion pub buzzed with life, tempting her with the promise of local chatter. But she pressed on toward the quarry instead, drawn by an itch she couldn't scratch. Beyond the village, a rusted chain-link fence marked the quarry's edge, its faded signs barking at trespassers to keep out. Holly found a gap and slipped through. The quarry sprawled before her in desolate grandeur. Sheer cliffs of jagged rock towered like sentinels over pits of murky water, their surfaces still as glass yet swallowing light whole. Weeds and brambles choked the ground, a testament to decades of abandonment. She wandered deeper, the silence pressing against her ears, broken only by the occasional skitter of gravel or a gull's distant cry. Yet something else lingered, a prickling sensation, as if unseen eyes tracked her every step. Then she saw it, a shack half collapsed, its timbers sagging under time's weight. Graffiti scarred its walls, but inside, the air was thick with must and memory. Amid broken chairs and rusted picks, a faded photograph hung crookedly. It showed a crew of quarrymen, their faces etched with exhaustion, her breath caught. There, among them, was her grandfather, young and stern. As she stared, a cold gust swept through, rattling the shack. A whisper brushed her ear. She whirled around. Nothing. Hammering, she fled back to the village, the voice echoing in her skull. Sleep dodged her that night. The shack, the photo, the whisper, they gnawed at her. By morning, resolve had hardened within her. She'd find Mr. Jenkins, his cottage perched on a hill overlooking the quarry, his garden a wild tangle. She knocked, and the door creaked open to reveal a grizzled man with a white beard and eyes like chipped ice. "Can I help you?" he growled. "Mr. Jenkins, I'm Holly Arnold. I'm writing about the quarry. Heard you might have stories to share." He squinted. "Arnold, knew an Arnold there, your kin." "To my grandfather." He nodded slowly. "A good man. Quit after the accident, though." "The accident?" Holly pressed. He sighed and waved her in. The cottage was a cluttered nest of books and trinkets, warmed by a stove. Settling into a chair, he began. 62 it was. We were blasting a new vein of dynamite. Went off too soon. Killed half a dozen, foreman included. After that, things turned strange. Tools vanished. Machines jammed for no reason. Men saw shapes in the dark. Ghosts, they swore. Most quit. Quarry shut down not long after. Holly leaned forward. Do you think it's haunted? No asterisk it is, he said. I saw it myself, figures drifting where no one should have been. And it's tied to what we found that day. What did you find? A chamber, deep in the rock, sealed tight for God knows how long. Inside, symbols carved everywhere and an altar, stone, stained, with bones on it, human, maybe. We told the bosses, but the blast buried it again before anyone could check. You think that's the source? We woke something old, something furious. She thanked him and left. A buried chamber, could it be the heart of the hauntings? Back at the inn, she pored over maps and dusty records, piecing together Jenkins' tale with the quarry's layout. Hours later, she had a hunch about its location. Dangerous, yes, but she had to know. That night, a dream seized her. She stood in the quarry, the altar looming. Shadows chanted in a tongue that twisted her gut. A presence rose, smoke and malice reaching for her. She jolted awake, drenched in sweat. Enough. She'd go back tonight. Flashlight in hand, camera slung over her shoulder, Holly slipped into the dark. The quarry at night was a different beast. Moonlight carved stark shadows across the rocks, and every sound amplified. Whispers. Footsteps. A scream, faint and far. Her flashlight flickered and died. She cursed, smacking it. A cold hand clamped her shoulder. She screamed, spinning nothing. The air iced over, her breath clouding. Then they appeared, glowing eyes in the gloom, figures forming workers, spectral and hollow. Her grandfather stepped forth. Holly, he rasped, seal the chamber, it feeds on us, grows stronger. If it breaks free, the world suffers. How? The key's in the foreman's office, hurry, but it'll fight you. Her flashlight flared back. The office, she'd seen it near the entrance. She raced there, broke a window, and climbed in. Dust coated everything, files, tools, a chaos of neglect. In a drawer, she found it, a key on a chain, etched with a strange glyph. Back in the quarry, the air thickened with menace. Shadows twisted, voices hissed. She found the chamber's entrance, rocks piled high. She clawed them aside and stepped in. Symbols glared from the walls, the altar squatted in the center, radiating dread. The key's glyph matched a slough in the stone. She moved to insert it. A roar erupted. Darkness swirled, coalescing into a shape, fury incarnate. You cannot stop me. Fear clawed her, but she thrust the key in and turned it. Light exploded, blinding. The entity shrieked, the ground bucked. And silence. Peace. Outside, the ghosts waited. Her grandfather smiled. You freed us, Holly. Rest now. She'd done it. Days later, her book flew off shelves, a tale of courage and closure. Niton hailed her, but Holly knew the real prize, honoring her grandfather, ending the nightmare. Yet, as she boarded the ferry home, a whisper lingered, evil never truly dies. Deep beneath the quarry, it slept. For now. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have had a great day.